Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation, where we are, of course, taking FC Cincinnati in Major League Soccer. This is our very first season, and in the last episode, we looked at the team, we looked at the club, all the facilities and the board and all that stuff. But now I want to talk about this initial season, which isn't really a season. It's just a year in which we have to prepare the club and get them ready for Major League Soccer. And the reason I want to talk about this year in particular is that if you've never taken an MLS expansion team before, you probably have never experienced a year quite like this within Football Manager. It's basically a skip year. It's like, you graduate from high school, and instead of, going straight to college, you go on a holiday. Here in the United States, a lot of people go over to Europe, and they backpack around Europe. Or maybe in Europe, they come over here to the U.S. and get some experience here in the U.S. However you do it, this is kind of similar. We're out of high school. We're getting ready to graduate to the big leagues, but we're kind of left to our own devices. And that can be a problem if you've never experienced this expansion year within MLS before. Because when you get to Major League Soccer, you're going to have a lot of rules. You're going to have a lot of restrictions. At the beginning of this season, you got an email from MLS saying this is what's coming right here. You read this email and you say you got stuff like designated players and off budget and senior contracts and minimum contracts and Generation Adidas reserve contracts. You got all this stuff going on. But none of that takes effect until 2019. So right now in 2018, you're kind of left to your own devices, right? We have our finances, we have all this money, we have all this transfer budget, but we have no rules. So if you're not used to this, you can cause a lot of damage to your team and to your roster. So instead of using this season to build your roster, which is what a lot of people would think this season would be for, I'm going to tell you, the advice I'm going to give you is to use this season not to build your roster, but to build your club. Work on trimming your roster. Work on getting rid of any fat that you don't want, all the old players, all the players that aren't good enough for Major League Soccer. Do whatever you can to get rid of those players. Bring your salary down so that you can have more money once you get into MLS. The other thing you need to do is build your facilities. You definitely need to build your facilities. Do everything you can to get new training facilities, new coaches, new anything and everything you can possibly get your hands on other than players. And the real reason you want to do that, not just because right now you're not subject to all the MLS rules and regulations, but the other reason is because MLS has a lot of different ways to give you players for free, right? They've got drafts, of course, I'm sure you're aware of. And those drafts will get you a lot of players. For example, the first draft you're going to get to is probably going to be some of the waiver drafts, the end of season re-entry drafts and stuff like that. You're going to get anywhere between 0 and 6 players, veteran players, from those various waiver drafts. And then you're going to be able to get another 5 veteran players from the expansion draft. And the expansion draft isn't players that the other teams want to get rid of. The expansion draft are players that the other teams want to keep. Good players, veteran players, even young players that they just can't protect. They don't have, maybe their roster is too good. They got too many good players. They can't protect them all. So you're going to be able to go in and snatch 5 of those players. Then you're also going to have the MLS Super Draft, which is the rookie draft, where you're going to get at least 4 rookies on your team. So that's, a total, you add them all together, that's a total of 15 new players you're going to be able to get for free, for absolutely free, added to your roster at the beginning of the 2019 season. So don't worry about adding players right now. You can just most likely do more harm than good, especially if you've never played in MLS before. So right now, focus on building your team, building your staff. Now, let's take a look at what we've done. I've only advanced the game a little bit. We're only January 27th, so only about 20 days have gone. But we've done a few things, transfers. I've broken my own rule, of course. I went out and got a Kugo, a transfer. He's a Segundo Volante. I do love Segundo Volante. He's 26 years old. He's an American player, though, so that's good. He's got some nice physicals, some solid mentals, some solid technicals. So he's going to come in. He's going to be able to play all up and down the center of the field for us. Central defense, defensive midfield, central mid. It's a place I like to be strong. He was available for free, so I figured why not? We'll pick him up right now because I'm trying to get rid of a lot of guys. I'm trying to clear the benches of all these 29 and 30-year-old dudes. So, we got a little bit of problems right now with team dynamics because of that, but I'm fine with that for now. The other thing trying to bring in some coaches. We got 2 coaches coming in on free transfers. Got Luciano Savelli, 31 years old, Argentinian. He's going to be coming in as a general coach. He's got some defending ability, some mental ability, works well with youngsters, very determined, excellent discipline. So he's going to be a good coach for us, at least better than the ones we've got now. And then look at this guy, Tony Miola. I hope that's a name you're familiar with, especially if you're an American soccer fan. This guy, he was the goalkeeper for the USA team when I started paying attention to the USA national team. He was a very good goalkeeper for his time. Take a look at some of his history and his accolades. He played a long time in Major League Soccer from the beginning, 1996, playing with the New York Metro Stars, who are now New York Red Bull. Before that, he played a little bit in England, Watford and Brighton. Had a couple of stints there, but really what he's known for is the U.S. national team. He had 100 appearances for Team USA. Started in 1988. What was it? The early 90s, 91, 92. North American Gold Cup MVP. So he had some good success with the U.S. national team. Played in a World Cup in 94. So, yeah, we've signed him to our staff. He's going to be one of our goalkeeper coaches because we're trying to get rid of our old goalkeeper coach who's terrible. So it's just, another example of building the roster. So we got some interesting stuff going on there. We've got a lot of guys who are out. Well, they're not out, but we've listed them. Look at all the guys we've listed here. Village, Hoyt, Barrett, Lahoud. Let's see, Amobi. Newton is wanted by somebody. Probably sell him. 29 years old. 11 reflexes. Who's he wanted by? Basically, if anybody wants any of these guys, get rid of them. Columbus is interested in him. Okay, so offer to MLS clubs. Evan Newton, we'll put him at, 150K. See if we can get something for him. Really, at this point, we're just trying to get rid of people as best we can. And, we'll bring in tons of players at the beginning of next year. We don't have to worry about these guys right now. Hoyt, Barrett, Lahoud, as I mentioned. Let's see, who else are we trying to get rid of? Gibson. Sam DeWitt, slight concern, needs to leave for first team soccer. We've got him listed. He's supporting one of his teammates, Dekel Keenan. He's one of our team leaders. He's this 33-year-old central defender. Is he a good player? Yes. Is he what I want on my team? No. So we're trying to get rid of him, and the team doesn't like it because we still have a few games to play. We can't completely strip the roster because we do have some games to play, and namely, I've started a little preseason schedule here. You can see we've got a ton of teams here. Now, we've got a lot of time until our first real game in the U.S. Cup, so I got a smattering of teams to play. Couldn't really play anybody outside of USA or North America. I guess we could have gone on a lavish tour of Canada in February if we really wanted to, but I really did not want to do that. So we tried to keep to southern teams: Houston, Oklahoma, Atlanta, LA, Sacramento, San Antonio, San Jose Academy, Fresno, Dayton, which is a local team, Dayton, Ohio, Houston again in a couple of months' time, 2 months' time, and then Cincinnati Dutch Lions. So we got the Dayton Dutch Lions and the Cincinnati Dutch Lions. There's a lot of Dutch Lions in Ohio. Who knew? But anyway, we're going to build this season off of friendlies. That's really the only thing we can do. Friendlies and the U.S. Cup, which the draw hasn't happened yet for U.S. Cup, so we got nothing going on there. So let's get to our very first game ever with FC Cincinnati playing the Houston Dynamo at Nippert Stadium. So it's at home, a breezy 46-degree Fahrenheit. Possibly it's going to snow. We'll see. Captain has not been selected. Spencer Ritchie will take the armband. That's fine. Who's Spencer Ritchie? Who knows? He's not going to be with the team for very long. But here we are. We're going with the 4-2-3-1. For some reason, it looks like our guys are in defensive midfield position, which they are not. Same with Houston. Looks like their guys are in the DM spots, but I don't believe they are. So here's our starting lineup. Ritchie, okay, he's our goalkeeper. That's good to know. Kanate at the fullback, Boehner on the right-hand side, Keenan, the old man, with Lasso, the youngster, Ryan Fatal Alash, who's a guy who's probably going to make the roster when we move to MLS, Smith Ledesma, who's also probably going to make the roster, Al-Badawi's got a possibility to make the roster, and Adi, of course, up top is going to be one of our top guys next season. And meanwhile, Houston, who do they got going on? They got Seitz, Beasley, their captain at fullback, Donovan Leonardo, Machado, Alexander Garcia, Rodriguez, Gil, there's Albert Elise, who's one of their better players. Pena up top as the number 9. So it looks like they're playing several of their more important players. At least they've got Elise up there. He's a name that I definitely recognize. So let's go. Hand over to the assistant. I always hand the first pep talk, especially in preseason. Hand them over. Now, we're not going to watch a ton of these preseason games, but this is our first game, so I figured it'd be a little special treat. We're going to do what we always do. I'm going to see how much FM18 tactics transfer to FM19. Right now, I'm just doing sort of the gegenpressing, like basic stuff, and we'll see how that works. So here we are, some of the new graphics we're lining up in front of Nippert Stadium. Not exactly a accurate representation. We'll see. We are in the blues. We don't even have our correct uniforms. I don't know what's going on. There's no sound. Let's click on some sounds and see what happens. What are we on? We're on extended highlights. Okay, so quick goal. I had to really change the sounds. The sounds were incredibly loud. I don't know if you heard that. We turn the sound down quite a bit and see how that works. In fact, I might even turn it down a little bit more. Let's pause this. Okay, probably should have tested that before we started recording. Well, what are you going to do? All right, so we're down a goal to Houston. Probably not too unexpected. First game of the season, we're not looking too good. The crowd has now gone silent. You can hear the ball. There's the crowd coming in. Adi making a move on the defense. Can't beat sights, but hopefully we see a lot more of that. Getting Adi downfield. Here we are. Corner, far side, Ledesma. See if we can get our first goal ever. Machado heads it out of there for Houston. Ryan forward to Boehner. He can't get the shot off. Alash loses it in the maelstrom. And that ends the highlight. It was a decent highlight. We worked the ball downfield to our main man. Got a corner out of it. Couldn't quite get what we needed. Ryan's looking disinterested. Keenan and Lasso looking disinterested. Boehner, his condition is a little low, so we're going to have to sub in for somebody there probably second half. Tamarcus Beasley's got a yellow card. Oh, Machado on their side is likewise. He's even worse condition. 32-year-old. No, that's... Yeah, 32-year-old Panamanian. Oh, injury for Elise. That's not what Houston wants to see. First preseason game of the year. And remember, this is 2018, not 2019, so it's kind of running a little bit behind. Although currently we are in the 2018 playoffs, so I would assume that we could finish out this year before the real MLS playoffs finish. Yeah, without a doubt, probably before next week. I would assume that we would be finished with this first season. Going to take it pretty quickly. Like, we're going to show our U.S. Cup games, and that's probably about it, other than, some basic catch-up with what's going on with the team. Here we go. Machado again wide open on the free kick. Yikes. That's some poor defending right there, boys. Let's take a look at this back line. He's just wide open. He beats number 3. Not even any sort of contest there. Was that Kanate? Yeah. It was Kanate. He's working on a 6.0 rating right now, which is too bad. He's one of our better players. There we are, down 2-0. We're going to have to improve this team slightly over the course of the season if we're going to compete in the U.S. Cup, and that's really what we're going to be going for. Let's see. Let's be assertive. We need more spirit and more fight out there. Might be a friendly, but let's go. All right, let's see if we can get a goal back here. That would be nice. I mean, we are pressing a team that we probably shouldn't be pressing. Ryan murders somebody at midfield, and there ends the highlight. Here we go. Kanate gets it to Alash. The crowd is going to kick in. There they are. There's quite a delay in the crowd. I don't know about that. Al-Badawi out wide, sends it into Adi. There it is. That's the combination. That's what we're looking for. Al-Badawi to Adi. We need more of that for sure. This was a really good play. For the first preseason game of the year, this is a really nice combination. I mean, their central defender was not paying attention at all. And, of course, Al-Badawi gets injured. So let's... oh, look at this. They got subs on the right-hand side here. All right, so that's good. Make a sub. Who are we going to bring in? I mean, I guess all we got is Jimmy McLaughlin, 24-year-old American. Oh, he's Mr. Average Dude, right? He's got some nice pace, acceleration, work rate. But really, that's about it. Other than that, he is completely, second division average dude. He's not MLS caliber at all. But, he's what we got. So let's throw him in there. See what he can do. Al-Badawi showed what he could do. Got free off the back line. Made a nice cross. So Al-Badawi's crossing looked like 12. 11. 15 dribbling, 13 corners. Yeah, he's nice. I mean, physically, not really what I like, but he's got mentals and technicals. Konate is having the worst game of his career. Is that what that said? Let's get him out of there. He is not ready for the season. Boehner. Likewise, let's take Boehner out of there. Hoyt, yeah, he can play. I mean, I guess I'd rather have Hoyt playing fullback. Support is fine. Stevenson, fullback. Support is fine, I guess. He's better at defense, but we'll leave him in support just so our offense doesn't completely shut down. Adi's looking so good. 7.1 rating, 84%. Not tired at all. He's still in the green, so that's good. Should probably take him out at some point. Alash, not looking too good. 77%, 6.4 rating. Here's Ledesma, though. Sends it across. Smith can't win the header, but he's going to track it down. There's a good shot of Nippert Stadium. You know, it's your typical American football style stadium. Oh, nice pass out to Smith. Smith centers to Ryan. Ryan looking for Alash. Alash to McLaughlin. Back to Alash. There's a shot and a goal. Look at that. Boys are showing some heart in the preseason. Fatai Alash. Assist by that guy we just brought in, McLaughlin. McLaughlin? I don't know. Anyway, nice goal, nice shot. Nice slow-mo cam there. I like it. I like it a lot. 18 shots on goal. We are dominating right now. Here's Lindquist, sends it in. Hoyt heads it out. Cabezas gathers it in for Houston. Tries to send it across the field to De La Garza. He's guarded there. The crowd goes eerily silent. Garza bombs it downfield. Stevenson, Steves. That's a weird name. Steves beats our central defense, but our goalkeeper is there to make the stop. It's another set piece from Houston. Alvarez curves it into Cabezas, who nearly scores on that one. Goes out for another corner for Houston. Now they're going to take it on the near side. You can see all the empty stands we have here in this 40,000 seat capacity. Watts on the backside. There's some Houston fans in the end zone. Let's see. Who's not playing well? Lasso's not playing well. Is there anybody we can bring in for Lasso? We got Paddy Barrett. 24-year-old Irish. Sure. Let's bring him in for Lasso. Oh, that reminds me. We did make some other signings that I should probably talk about. Even though I said don't make signings, you can make a couple of exceptions. And I'll talk about those after this game real quick. And then we'll end the episode. There we go. 87 minutes. We got the 2-2 draw looking pretty good. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Martinez, the set piece free kick, sends it wide. And there's a foul. Barrett fouls the guy we just brought in. Fouls Houston, and they get a free kick. Let's see if we can stop one of these. Penalty kick. Martinez is going to take it. Easy goal. So it looks like we're going to lose it in stoppage time to a penalty kick. Not how you want to start the season, but, you know, we saw some good things. We saw some good things here. Yeah. Martinez. Okay. We saw you. Outshot him. Outfouled him. Outpossessed them. Pretty good game. There is no time left. This is probably the last highlight. Hoyt has it to McLaughlin. Looking for some space. McLaughlin across field to Stevenson. Stevenson gets tackled. Loses possession. That's probably going to be it. They're probably going to blow the whistle here real soon. Steves sends it forward to Kyoto. The crowd sounds are just ridiculous. That was a terrible maneuver there. Kyoto scores a garbage goal in garbage time. Not real happy about that. And this was a complete malfunction here by number 14. He just knocks it on for the opponent. And Kyoto capitalizes. That was awful. So yeah, I was going to say there were some good things, but now I've gone back to not being happy about this performance. This was not good. I mean, nobody's match fit and all that stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Although it's not as pronounced as in previous seasons. In previous seasons, like the beginning... Let's just get out of here. Get out of here. I want those crowd sounds to stop now. At the beginning of the season, like, all your dudes were at, like 0% fitness. Now it's not so bad. Well, not 0%, but like 50%, which is basically 0%. But anyway, now it's not so bad. You have more guys who come into the season fit and ready to play than before. Like, or at least maybe they don't play quite as badly. Let me look at Al-Badawi. He's at 84%. Keenan, 86%. So we got several players who were ready to play in this game. Just not everybody was. So who was that really fouled up on the back line? So Lasso fouled up once. And then 14, was that Patty Barrett? No. Who the heck was 14? Why was he playing back there? 12, Boehner? No, he's number 2. Hoyt? No. 32. Stevenson? Yeah, it's probably Stevenson. Probably. We don't know. He doesn't have a number. Because he's only 16 years old. He's one of the guys I wanted to talk about who we signed. Why isn't he showing up here in the transfer history? There he is. There he is. So we signed several players on a free from our academy. FC Cincinnati Academy. So we got Stevenson, 16-year-old. We got Šakić. Catalan Šakić. We're never going to pronounce his name. Romanian, 16 years old. A lot of the guys we looked at from the academy, any of the good ones, we signed them up just so we don't lose them prematurely. And also, I've seen a bug. This is a warning with FC Cincinnati. I've seen a bug where after this inaugural year, once you flip into 2019, they will give you a second academy. And this first academy will essentially become unusable. And all the players will go away, and everything will go away. And you'll get a new, basically, MLS academy. So I wanted to sign these players now so that I could have them on the roster in case they get deleted by that bug. We'll see if that happens again. But yeah, that is the one thing I would recommend you do if you need to add players to your team. Sign up some players from your academy, bring them along, and if you're not going to use them, if you're not going to play them, they're at least training with you rather than training with your academy, which the FC Cincinnati Academy is not very good. Facilities, youth facilities, basic, training facility, average, so they're not great facilities, and coaching's not very good, so we need to improve these for sure. But while we're improving them, we might as well bring the other players up and let them train with the first team and get all that stuff. Now, I haven't set up the training. I've got my assistant coaches to do all that stuff. Mentoring, I've added some mentoring groups, but I'm going to have to add some players in here because I was hoping my assistants would take care of this, but they have not taken care of it yet. Positional units, defensive units. I mean, I don't know what all this stuff is. I haven't really looked at any of this stuff, nor will I. Maybe next episode we'll look at some of this random stuff. Actually, no, we'll probably go much farther into the future. We'll probably get to our U.S. Cup games, and I'm going to stop wasting time. And we're going to end this episode right here. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.